You?
Perfect.
Yay. So welcome everybody. Just to review materials list, we will, I'm using today the Micron PN, shading pencil, and tortillon. My name is Anne-Marie Kilpatrick, and I live in Asheville, North Carolina. I am a CZT from CZT 32, and I am an art therapist in my daytime gig. So Zentangle found me through art therapy. I really love the method of Zentangle and the just way that we can get into a flow state within our time together, where we can be having this communal experience where we're co-regulating, but we're also having this completely internal experience while we're going through just spending time on the screen together. So thanks for being here. I'm nervous, but it's good to do new things. So for today, my intention is to just kind of allow time to create the web and hold the container of your own process. So we will create like the string together with just the intentionality of creating the finger labyrinth through our breath. And then I'll invite you to pick your favorite tangles to fill the space around. And I'll give some suggested tangles along your path. But really, I hope that you have this time to yourself to have some creativity as well. So in preparing for this, I was really just wanting to just catch my breath, literally. And so the concept of the labyrinth is an interesting place of just radiate, receive, coming away and coming back together in our breath. And so I found a really fun, just 3-circuit finger labyrinth that we can create today. And what we'll do is, with your pencil, we will want to just kind of map the tile a little bit into thirds. So again, I'm using an apprentice tile. If you don't have an apprentice tile, that's no big deal at all. You can use a regular size tile. You can have a larger sheet if this is something that you're wanting to expand out with. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to kind of consider my tile is in 3 sections, and I just want to mark some beginning marks just as guides into that 3rd section, I mean the bottom 3rd section. And then right at about the intersection middle to this first point, I just want to create like a little just little cross there in the center. So it's kind of a guide mark for me. Next, what we will do is I like to keep my marks fairly light when I'm just kind of mapping out. And so with this little shape right here, we want to go and put 4 dots spaced out kind of point to point if we were going to create the border around that. And with the intention that you're just starting the web, you can come back with your ink pen and create a different line if you want to. We just want to be lightly laying down our first mark, which is a little tiny rainbow shape like this. So the next one is just going from that top middle point to that first point. So the next line that we will be, let's saying my connection's unstable, just checking it. The screen share went away. Hold on one second. I'm back. Okay. From the next, my head got in the way there. From this point here, what we're going to do is we're going to take it to this second top corner dot. So I'm going to turn my tile. I like to kind of go out first and then keep turning my tile. Again, you can come back and ink it in with more. This is just the start. We're going to anchor to this second dot here. Okay. So from here, the next line that we'll be making goes from this outside left center line to this bottom right point. And so what we'll do is, again, I'm going to take it and I like to pull my lines in towards my belly button. So I work around my tile, kind of pulling my lines to the center here. Okay, and again, this last line is going to kind of pull us all together here. We start from the bottom middle point, and we're going to pull it out and kind of start to guide it around. And we're going to that last dot that we have hanging out here. Okay, so we've created this sweet little 3-circuit labyrinth where our entrance to it goes in and around, and then we can come out the same way. From here, I'm going to work to get us out to these central points on the outside of this bottom third quadrant, and how you decide to do that is your choice. We can think about this like a flower with a tiny stem to get you in and out of your breath. We can think about it as a tree trunk guiding you, kind of rooting out and into your breath. You might want to have some florals and some giant leaves coming to anchor your labyrinth here. It's really kind of be guided by what you're feeling. So for me, I think where I would like to kind of guide mine is right through this entrance point, and grab onto it here. I'm a sketcher. I'm not, I am not a line person always. So for me, I like to come back through my lines, but some people's tangling preferences are different, right? So I hope that you're enjoying what you're creating so far. With my PN, I'm going to pick it up and I'm just going to choose a path that aligns with, like, okay, I like my marks. So I'm going to go in and with some confidence in my breath. First of all, we didn't set intention for this class, but I really do like the idea of just gratitude or appreciation, giving yourself a thank you for just your intention in being here, spending this time, choosing a practice that invites patience and joy in your internal process. So if you have just an intention of gratitude or an appreciation, anchor into that as you find your seat, and just kind of be embodied in this pacing. Obviously, we won't finish all of it in this time together, but hopefully I can invite some joy in just continuing the process after we jump off today. I'm going to, with my confidence in my breath, just begin to outline a line that works for me. And here in this space, I'm going to jump outside of my original sketch and just kind of keep flowing with where the ink wants to lay down. If you have an eraser and you want to erase your lines, go for it. If not, and you're a purist, we will just keep working with what's on our page, on our tile. So I want us to just kind of take a moment to think about the nonverbal experiences we have in our day, and how dominant that can feel sometimes to what we might be going through, or interpersonally, just how that interplays sometimes. So thinking about like just what maybe is in the forefront of your experience right now, just in your day, in this moment, what's on your mind, and maybe then taking a zoom out to think about the background information going on. That could be just other things that deserve your attention, but maybe are getting left behind, or needing to be placed on the back burner. This kind of all goes into the things under the earth, that background information that we are considering in our day. And so I want to consider that we can kind of tangle in, my screen. Come on, little person, let's do this. Here we are. For me, what I was thinking with the tangling is that we would, our rooting is just as much of a process sometimes as the things that we're sharing in our growth. So as we grow, we also anchor deeper into our roots sometimes. So I was thinking that we could tangle the tangle mist or fescue, or a tangle of your choice that kind of embodies the roots. And I will write the tangles mist and fescue so that you know which ones I'm referencing. Mist, if you've never tangled, kind of looks like this, and I'll draw it on my tile in a second. And I love it because it gives like an airy quality. And fescue looks like a river you want to plant your seed. So I create a tiny seed and then I kind of just grow wherever it wants to go. And I kind of tangle both directions with Fescue, but you might like doing it one direction. So I'm just going to give a few minutes of tangling with mist or Fescue, considering the places where you're rooting as you grow. You can even maybe combine these two tangles in some fun new ways. As you kind of think about under the earth, what's coming up into your labyrinth, you might want to consider your entrance. Like, see, I'm kind of in that widening of my entrance. So I'm going to create a path. And my line's going to go this way. You could tangle something else in this space. I'm going to continue to work with the pattern I started with, but your path can be unique. Okay. That's our roots. Thinking about tangling next places, I think about how much work sometimes it is to just be in a space of noticing what's brewing under the earth and how that's impacting the flow of our breath. So the experience sometimes can be a non-dominant experience, non-verbal. I mean, a dominant experience that's non-verbal. So just to be in this place requires a lot of our attention sometimes in our breath. And as we invite that breath to come through and just explore, I want to consider what might be growing through our experience of noticing. So I want to invite just little sprouted growth. So I'm going to choose the tangle poke root or poke leaf. We might do poke mushroom cap. I don't know what the term for that would be, but I'm just thinking about tiny forest floor growth, like small growth in the beginning. That takes a lot of under the earth time just to produce the first of something. So for me, I'm going to just start with the tangle. I'll write it out. Oak leaf. And poke leaf looks like 2 lines with a cap and then a leaf. Do it again. You can combine it with poke root that looks like a circle cap. You could make poke mushroom. Mushroom. You can cap it however you want to. Okay. Oh. My camera is messing up. So sorry. Let's think. Come on. There we are, back on track. So there's your examples. All right. So I'm going to need some untangling with just this tiny new growth. Reminding yourself to take this time to breathe. Okay. From here, I'm going to offer the tangle of, I don't know how to say it, but I'm going to spell it as Y mix. It might have a different way of pronouncing it. I'm not sure. But how we start this tangle is to orb shapes that make, well, it's like coffee bean shape. It looks like leaves. And we continue to build to it with these additional coffee bean shapes. And it sprouts some cute little growth. So I'm going to add those on top of my poke leaf. Just, you can, what I might suggest is that we just aura around the leaf shape if you wish. You don't have to. moving fairly fast, but take your time. You can come back to revisiting at your own pace. Okay, so I'm going to add some leaf shapes. Let's tangle together. I don't know about that for you, but this process just naturally makes me smile as I'm engaged in the flow. It's just so fun to anticipate that through Zentangling, I can create happiness inside of myself anytime I invite it. Again, I'm going to aura these little shapes, giving it some definition. Okay. You could keep it just like this. I'm going to add to mine, but if you wanted to just start to add some orbs, just to kind of flourish, I'm going to suggest that you consider one more tangle with me. That's the Tangle of Xander. C, A, E, D, E, R. I like Xander because every time I draw it, it just reminds me of bamboo. And bamboo, what I like as far as the metaphor when we think of growth is that within a very short amount of time, new growth can catch up with old growth. So a new sprout of bamboo can rise to meet its ancestors quickly. And I just really embrace the concept of patience through breath when we think of old wisdom and new growth putting us in similar places. So with that in mind, I just want us to consider bamboo and draw the Tangle Xander. So Xander is what is it? Okay, wake up. Xander is a tube shape, and we create some breaks along the way. A shape like that goes around the tube. And then we bring some lines similar to mist, where we're inviting just patterning to anchor our tangling. So I'm going to add that to our tile. Wherever you feel like Xander needs to go for you. might only draw a few stalks right now. Okay. We can take our shading pencil and do a little shading. I'm just going to shade our rooting for today, and then as you just spend time with this tile after our time together, I'm sure you can be creative in how you want to shade the rest of it. I'm going to choose to just shade right up to this horizon line. And catch my original pencil lines. Begin this process for me. Nice to meet back up with those friends. Our beginning lines and our final lines. And just pulling that graphite down wherever it wants to trail down these little roots. Okay. As you consider how you'll continue on with your tile, I do want to invite that you add a chalk or your initials somewhere to sign, just honoring the time in your artist mind that you spent here so far today. I'm going to end the recording now. Thank you so much. If I can. And then I want to invite that we have an opportunity to share maybe images to this point. Here is my little toolbar that's supposed to pop up. Come on. There it is.